What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the All Things Footy podcast, hosted by myself again. And yeah, great day for football. This is being recorded on Sunday, October 16th, where we had both the El Clasico and the El Clasico of the Premier League. It seems Arsenal, Man City versus Liverpool. I'm going to briefly touch on the El Clasico because I really want to talk about the City game. Barcelona dominated by Real Madrid. The last El Clasico, we saw the opposite. I think players it finished 3-1 for those wondering. In favor of Real Madrid with Benzema, Valverde both scoring, as well. Who scored the final goal for Madrid? I know. Ferran Torres scored for Barcelona. And in a really, really good fixture. Oh, it was Rodrigo, the penalty, right? A very good game for Real Madrid. I thought they dominated. Vinny looked good dribbling. Ben scored when he got his chance. But I think you could really see the injuries that Barcelona have, like the likes of Araujo. I think if he would have been in that game, it's a game changer. But obviously he's dealing with some injury problems, so, also, Lewandowski had a pretty poor game to his standards. Something we've seen a lot of recently. Against Inter, didn't look that great. Ball to feet looking a little, it doesn't look like the old Lewandowski we're used to seeing. The goal scorer, robotic figure like we associate with Holland. Just doesn't look the same. Although he got the assist because he tapped the ball that went to Ferran Torres. But that goal was made by Ansu Fati, who went on a brilliant run late in the second half. But yeah, overall, Valverde, a great player. Real Madrid just dominated Barcelona and atop them in the La Liga standings once more. Also, a quick note that Xavi now has the worst win rate of any Barcelona coach over 50 games, I believe, since 2001. And a lot of people are bugging out to the stat, saying he's the most overrated coach ever. But give it time. Barcelona's in a rebuilding phase, right? As we could clearly see. Some of those players in that team might not be in that team come next year. You got to give Xavi a little bit of time to implement this style of football he wants to play. I mean, I'm not going to compare it to the job that Arteta had to face because Barcelona are arguably in a much better position that Xavi received them in than what Mikel Arteta got Arsenal in, you know what I mean? But, Barcelona have these financial figures, or that's what it seems. Hopefully they can sort things out because I don't want to see them, have this game make lead to a negative rest of the season for them in the La Liga, as we're probably not going to see them in the Champions League for much longer. So hopefully Barcelona can sort things out. And I kind of knew a big result was coming for Real Madrid, especially when I saw that Drake bet of $800 million or whatever that was. Crazy bet. And he lost a lot of it due to Barcelona not performing on the day. So hopefully they could amend things. But yeah, good result for Madrid. But the main fixture I want to talk about was that cracking game between Man City and Liverpool. Let's just get right into it. I mean, from minute one, you could feel the tension in the air, Even though Liverpool were on the day before the game on 10 points, it's still Liverpool versus Man City, right? Liverpool are going to turn up. They always want to beat Pep's team, especially at home at Anfield and that fortress of a stadium. I thought Liverpool thoroughly deserved the win. Holland kept really quiet to his standards of what we've been seeing from him in the Premier League. Only having 4 shots on goal, most of them being comfortable for Alisson. You saw him even with his ball to feet not look too comfortable. A couple loose touches here and there. Because I know Liverpool probably found out that Haaland's pretty good on the ball and starts a lot of these attacks for Man City. His link-up play is very, very, very much underrated, and I feel like no one looks at his link-up play because that's a really main start to how he gets in position for his goals, right? By feeding the ball back to Foden or De Bruyne and then making that run. Once Haaland got the ball, you would see 3 players around him. Joe Gomez, Van Dijk, Milner, all around Haaland once he touched the ball. And it made him feel uncomfortable. And that's what allowed Foden's goals to get disallowed because, a couple loose touches from Holland from the pressure of Fabinho led to Holland pulling down Fabinho and, generating the goal to be overturned. Was it a foul on Holland on Fabinho? Yes. But the referee missed it. He was looking right at the play, deemed it wasn't a foul, in real time, and the goal stood, right? Until VAR had a check saying, oh, go look at it, and overturned it. It was a foul, yes, but with the consistency of how VAR has been used this year, it shouldn't have been given, right? I think VAR is ruining the game of football because of how inconsistent it is used. I believe it was used rather correctly this game because, in a big game, that was a blatant foul, right? He pulled him right to the ground. But again, the ref didn't give it. And maybe without the earpiece in his ear, he wouldn't have been he would have let it go, It was a good goal. But even before that, the thing about when I say it's inconsistent, that goal, the goal that got overturned by Foden, came from Salah being one-on-one with the keeper, where we all thought Salah missed, but we looked at it. Ederson got a fingertip save to it. Didn't say anything about it. All the Liverpool players were contesting that it was a corner kick, and the replay showed that it clearly came off Ederson, and they gave a goal kick, even though it should have been a corner. And then from there, Man City go down the other end and score. How are you gonna call the goal back for a foul that the referee clearly looked at and he clearly saw Fabinho being pulled down and said, nope, play on. But you don't pull back the obvious error that was made by the referee, where it was hard for us to see that Ederson tipped the ball and made the ball go wide off Salah's shot. Why doesn't that get called back? It makes no sense. It's clear. The VAR is supposed to be used for clear and obvious errors, right? The referee couldn't see the corner kick, but it was a clear and obvious mistake that the ref made because he couldn't see it, right? So resulting in what should have been a corner kick for Liverpool was a goal kick for City. But the play he looked at, he literally saw Holland drag down Fabinho. Didn't give it a foul, but yet that is clear and obvious. Yes, that's a foul, but if he's looking at it in real time and deems that that's not a foul, and that's been those type of contacts between strikers and center backs or defensive players have been going on since the dawn of time, the dawn of the sport. How he looks at that and deems it fair, and that gets called back for being a clear and obvious mistake, is blasphemy. When the one he couldn't see, that was clear and obvious because it came off Ederson and should have been a corner kick for Liverpool, doesn't get called back. I mean, this VAR shit makes no fucking sense. How are you gonna call something back how are you gonna not call something back that was clear, that the referee missed, but call the thing back that wasn't, how are you gonna call a thing back that wasn't clear because the referee clearly saw it and it wasn't obvious, but you're not gonna call back the thing that was clearly missed by the referee, but you're gonna call back the thing that wasn't clearly missed by the referee, like he was clearly watching the play and deemed it to be fair? Makes no sense, and it's just killing the game. But apart from that, Liverpool deserved the win, in my opinion. Especially when Darwin Núñez came on. I mean, he looked so lively. However, his decision on the final ball could not be worse for a Premier League, let alone an £85 million player or an $85 million player. What the fuck was he thinking? Especially on that final one, where he could have just laid the ball into Salah, who has been on good form the entire game. After scoring that goal, you give him that ball that he's scoring. Just refuses to pass to him. He doesn't even look up once. Salah is wide the fuck open, screaming for the ball. All you gotta do is tap it to him, one touch, score, or even two touch, maybe even, and he'll score. This doesn't pass. Doesn't pass at all. I don't even remember what he did, but he lost the ball. I forgot if he tried to shoot or if he just shanked it. I don't know what he did. There's another 2-on-1 that he could have played, or 3-on-1. He could have played Carvalho. He tried the extraordinary ball to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who wasn't in the right position. He wasn't in the position to score. He was quite further back to where he should have been to score. All Nunes had to do was just square it to Carvalho, and he would have scored. And the last one of the ones he tried to chip Ederson, and it completely backfired and failed. Jota as well could not, he had a really bad injury and was effective at times, but his finishing today was shocking. He also had so many chances that could have, put Man City to bed early on, and nothing happened from that. Liverpool should have won this game, in my opinion, 3-0. I want to say it how it is. City were completely caught off guard today. Cancelo made a really, really bad mistake for that Salah goal, which we'll talk about now. I don't get it. Alisson plays a great ball towards Salah. Cancelo is dropping back, and at the very last moment, presses Salah. I mean, what's the point of dropping back then? If you're dropping back, you have to commit to whatever you do, right? Cancelo's dropping back because he knows how quick Salah is. So if he drops back, he'll be fine. There'll be no counterattack. You can most likely stop it, right? But he drops back. So Salah already has a little bit of space now. And then he starts to press. So by the time Salah has the ball, Cancelo's still running up to try and press Salah. So it's an easy turn away. Not an easy turn, but the turn is much more effective now that Cancelo's on the back foot trying to press Salah. Salah easily has the quickness on Cancelo. So because Cancelo is already pressing up and the ball's at Salah's feet, turning up. And it was a world-class turn and a world-class finish. And yeah, Liverpool thoroughly deserved the win, in my opinion. Hopefully this could kickstart their season to what we expect from Liverpool. I mean, the last 3 games, I was saying, even the game against Arsenal where they lost, the game against Rangers when they won 7-1, great performances by Liverpool. And hopefully they could keep it up for Man City. And Klopp, after that Rangers win, he does the fist thing at the end. Fist thing, not fisting, for those, I'm not gay. But anyway, Klopp does the fist thing after a big win, right? He did not do that against Rangers because he knew the game against Man City was coming up. Because he was, wary of, this game against Rangers means nothing if we don't show this against Man City. Oh boy, did they show it against Man City, though. Great performance from Liverpool. Thoroughly deserved the win. I think a 1-0 result is really unfair for Liverpool. I think it should have been 3-0 in my opinion. But let me know what you think about the scoreline. Do you think Liverpool deserved more? I believe they did, even though they got the win. Let me know how you thought Liverpool and Man City played in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys at the next episode. Take care, everyone, and peace.